Hey guys, it's Maxie here and welcome to another TEW2020 video with the WWE. You join us for Survivor Series. Last year we got a 76, I'm hoping they smash that. The attendance record is a tricky one, but I think we might be able to smash that as well. And just looking at the kind of matches we had last year, again it's a very different card. As much as so that Aleister Black isn't even on the card, Rhea Ripley isn't on the card, Goldberg thankfully doesn't have a contract, Undertaker's retired. So yeah, a very different feel to this year's card, but I'm happy with it. It's a lot of solid matches, a lot of good angles, and hopefully shows you the direction that we're going in as we head towards 2022 and the next WrestleMania, which I think is 38 off the top of my head, not sure. But anyway, we'll see how good it is anyway. I'm looking forward to it. And as always, if you enjoy it, you see a wee thumbs up is deeply appreciated. You know what to do if you want to get social, if you want to check out the game for yourself, whether buying it or trying it on a trial basis. Links to that and all the good stuff in the description below. It's time for Survivor Series. We've got a lot to cover. Let's do this. So 21 segments to cover in this show that is held again in the Bronx, New York. I just felt like that was a good place for us to get a good attendance, and just shy of 55,000 in attendance. We don't get our hype sports entertainment packages. I keep it realistic, you wouldn't get that on a pay-per-view, so we start with a hype package documenting the feud for the main event, which is of course the 6-way match for the WWE Championship. As champion, Angel Garza defends against Andrade, Randy Orton, Edge, John Cena and Drew McIntyre. Of course there isn't a 6-way angle, so you have to go 3v3 here, but you get the idea anyway. It's an 83, it's not too bad. Hopefully some of the promos can carry us up to get a good highest rated promo. But we're looking forward to this. Of course, with it being Survivor Series, a lot more of the roster gets used. There's a lot of multi-person matches. But I'm hoping, and to be honest, I think they will deliver. So let's crack on with our first match of the evening for the Raw Tag Team Championship belts. So it was about the terrible wrestling and non-existent crowd heat, with the grizzled young veterans of James Drake and Zack Gibson defeat the Viking Raiders and the Undisputed Era. In 1342, the Viking Raiders went out first, and then it was the UE, of course, the big feud between the Undisputed Era and the Disciples of Rollins, against Imperium. The expanded Imperium now is now basically known as the Magnificent Seven, because they've added in some members, and the grizzled young veterans. And of the Magnificent Seven, it is the grizzled young veterans who retain the belts for the third time. A 59 rated opener, so not fantastic, but you can see just within ring performances who's been pushed, who was off their game, and who took the loss here. So again, one up for the Magnificent Seven. Then of a promo, the two leaders of the factions against the Magnificent Seven, Seth and Adam Cole, basically cut a promo just saying, we're all on the same page, we just want to get rid of this horrible faction from WWE to allow us to concentrate on the future and hopefully getting back into championship contention. And that was an 80 rated segment from those two, so pretty decent. So first 5v5 match of the night, and it was a decent matchup that saw Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, Seth Rollins, Murphy and Austin Theory defeat the Magnificent Seven, Walter, Timothy Thatcher, Alexander Wolf, Fabian Aichner and Marcel Barthel in 21:52 when Seth pinned Alexander Wolf with the pedigree. I felt like it was always going to be the babyfaces winning here. Walter and Thatcher have been booked absolutely superbly. They're over, they could go to the main event very quickly. Barthel's kind of in that next bit, and then the other two, Aichner and Wolf, have got a long way to go. Maybe on the babyfaces it's just probably Roddy Strong that's not really over. In Theory I'm still a bit iffy on because of the whole situation in real life. Until he comes back to television I'm still judging it as iffy, so they may look to take him out. But at the moment in time, babyfaces win because I want to start pushing Seth and Cole back towards the main event, and Murphy as well. So 74 overall, happy. With that, MVP of the match, Walter, with an 84 rated performance. In fact, Fury was off his game, Aichner was off his game, so great, two people off their game. The thing I've been doing on SmackDown is try to see if I can get someone over just by using sex appeal rated segments. So here's 4 minutes of Vanessa Born, 22 over. So she kind of varies between 19 and 22. in terms of segment ratings. I just want to see if we can get over just by giving her TV time. Next up was a decent matchup, and the team of The Fiend and the AOP, or if they're now known, the Protector of The Fiend, or the Protectors of The Fiend. So him and the AOP, Akam and Reserve, defeat Kevin Owens, Velveteen Dream and Otis in 14:49 when The Fiend defeats the Velveteen Dream with Sister Abigail. A 78. I just felt like it had an extra layer if he had the protection from Akam and Reserve. And I'm really struggling to get those two over. So again, pairing them with Bray Wyatt, you hope some of that overness and exposure rubs off to them and they can gain. They've been beaten down Kevin Owens 3 weeks ago, the Velveteen Dream 2 weeks ago, and then last week on Raw was Otis, and then of course KO and Velveteen made the save to set up the 3v3. Dream I'm also very iffy on, and his attitude doesn't help considering he was not happy with the Fiend pinning him, despite the Fiend having a far greater level of overness. So, like Theory, expect him to disappear for a wee bit, or at least be jobbed out until everything is clear. So a 78 rated matchup there. Next up, we just continue that beatdown, and 3-on-1 assault as a 63. So I'm either just going to put him in holiday or punt him down to NXT. Undecided. Next up, Robert Stone says that he's glad to confirm that Sonya Deville has joined with the Robert Stone brand. He's had Chelsea Green, who's managed to get herself a massive spot in Ronda Rousey's team tonight. He's had the former WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, the team of Jenny and Aaliyah, on his ranks, and he's absolutely delighted to add Sonya as well. He feels like it's a great acquisition, and then Sonya just basically says, look what it's done for Chelsea, she's really pushed on, and the fact that he's got me this title matchup just means that it's looking good for opportunities, and I'm happy to join the Robert Stone brand. So a 44 rate for that segment there. Sonya takes on Io Shirai in a bout with subpar wrestling and little heat. Io picks up the win in Sonya in 14:24 with a German suplex hold. This was Io's 5th defence of the Women's Championship. Considering that Io was off her game, the fact this got a 67 is really impressive. Whilst obviously you'd think she's just joined the Robert Stone brand, put the title on her, it's going to take a bit of time. She's going to be thankful for opportunities, but Robert Stone's just going to push her and keep getting her some victories, and as I say, hopefully long term that will be beneficial to Sonya Deville. Moving on, Liv Morgan cuts a promo on Charlotte Flair. Of course, Liv just back from that brutal assault from Charlotte Flair, and then she cashed in the SmackDown champion, of course, Charlotte, to win that belt, and she defends it here. She says she's been considered an underdog her whole career, but she's the champion now, and it's time for her to show that she can overcome the odds at any opportunity. So a 59 for that. Match itself was just a 55, and as about that had decent reaction from the crowd, but subpar wrestling as Liv Morgan defeated Charlotte Flair in 13:45, of course, with a roll-up. Second defence of the title, a 55, even though Charlotte previously had done the promise to put Liv over, that's obviously finished now. She hasn't anymore, so to keep Charlotte strong, this doesn't make sense, because you need to build Liv up slowly but surely, and Charlotte Flair's certainly going to be a good villain. To help that, we did make this the storytelling match of the day as well, so that would cause them to hold back, which takes a wee bit off the segment rating. Moving along, we've basically just spoiled what's coming up, but Jay White and Roman Reigns Roman Reigns attacks Jay White. Segment rates a 77. I've completely made an arse of this, but Roman turns heel. Why does Roman turn heel? Let's explain it. So, we had a 10-man match for the Intercontinental Championship. My reasoning for this one was basically we have a hell of a lot of talented guys on SmackDown. So you had the SmackDown 6 previously, and I'm like, here, we could technically have a SmackDown 10. So I thought, like, Roman Reigns can defend the belt against 9 of the best guys. So, good matchup. Jay White picks up the win, wins the IC belt over Bryan, Balor, Reigns, Cross, Nakamura, AJ Styles, Matt Riddle, Samoa Joe and Johnny Gargano in 34:15 when Jay White pinned Johnny Gargano with a Blade Runner, meaning that Jay White wins the IC belt. So 75 overall is not great. That's probably going to be because of the amount of competitors, I'd imagine. So if I scroll to here, there's a lot of positives. Quite a few physical abilities, but yeah, quite disappointing they only got a 75. So after the match, Jay White obviously wins the belt and then Roman attacks him. So the angle I'm going to play, because obviously I'm only doing pay-per-views here so I can explain my kind of logic of thinking, is Roman gets pissed off at the fact like he get put in this predicament to defend it against 9 people, and it's just like, well, what was the odds of me winning this? None. I didn't even get involved in the finish. So he takes his frustration out on Jay White and Roman Reigns heel. But I just feel with the likes of the guys that were pushing in the main event, we do need another heel, really over heel. And the last couple of months he's broke out of that kind of cap he used to have, so he is like ready for the main event picture. So I feel he's a bit above the IC belt now. That'll allow me to maybe swap him for, say, a Jacob Fatu and have a great SmackDown 10. But there's a lot of big names in that main event scene as well. So Roman turns heel, and hopefully that's going to be the start of something big, because there's plans for Roman Reigns going forward. Next up, speaking of the SmackDown picture, Universal Champion The Miz just says Keith Lee's been nothing but impressive, but he needs to continue to start taking himself seriously. And just like when they faced in SmackDown, it's going to be the same result here, and The Miz is going to stay Universal Champion. So as an 81, kind of was hoping that'd be a wee bit better. So I think we might be looking at maybe a pop loss here, because we haven't had the 87 promo to carry us like he does on SmackDown. The matchup was exceptional, and Keith Lee did defeat The Miz in 16:53. However, it was due to disqualification when Maurice ran in and she attacked Keith Lee, causing the DQ. So an 84, 86 performance for Keith Lee, 89 for The Miz, but because of the lack of psychology, it takes it off the match. So that could have been about an 87 or an 88, but I knew it was going to happen. That's why I made the match shorter than the last time. But yeah, dodgy finish, and The Miz will stay as champion for another day. However, in seeing this, Shane McMahon says we can't keep having Maurice coming in and affecting it. That's been SmackDown, that's been Survivor Series. So in 2 weeks' time, we will have the next pay-per-view, and that is going to be TLC. That Universal Championship is going to hang above the ring, and we are going to have ourselves The Miz versus Keith Lee in a ladder match at the moment. It might be TLC, I might change my mind, but at the moment a ladder match for the Universal title, Miz and Keith Lee. Miz might be able to use Maurice, but Keith Lee can use a table and anything he wants to use on The Miz, so could that be Keith Lee's opportunity? So Shane McMahon doing a good deed for once, our user character. Then at the backstage promo from Becky, Sasha and Bayley, just being on the same page. Only a 61 because these two aren't quite as over as the man. Becky though failed to improvise well. Of course, this is our co-main event, the 5-on-5 women's match. And it resulted in a poor matchup that saw the team of Jessamine Duke, Marina Shafir, Shayna Baszler, Ronda Rousey and Chelsea Green defeating Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, Bayley, Shotzi Blackheart and Ruby Riott, the Punk Rock Chicks, in 2029 when Ronda Rousey submitted Ruby Riott with armbar. 70 rated matchup is not too bad because Duke and Shafir are still in NXT, so not quite over. Chelsea's a work in progress. You could argue everyone apart from Becky and the babyface side is still a work in progress because Sasha and Bayley are not as over as I'd like. But in terms of ring performances, you can see there far above was Becky and Ronda with their 80-odd performances. Chelsea Green up there as good as you're getting for Sasha, Bayley, Shotzi, so she was really impressive, and of course Shayna is always going to be really solid with a 68, so a win for the 4 horsewomen of MMA alongside Chelsea Green. So their alliance with the Robert Stone brand is paying dividends at this moment in time. Main event time. Edge doesn't even save us with a promo, so we need this match to deliver because it is the main event. Edge just says he's thankful to be in the main event picture. It's another opportunity to become WWE Champion. He thought that had long gone. It had passed him. This is his opportunity. He's in there with a lot of old rivals. John Cena's back in this type of matchup. Randy Orton's in it. And then you've got the young guns of Andrade, a reborn Drew McIntyre, and of course that Weasel champion, that snaky Angel Garza. So let's see how this matchup does. I'm hoping it does well, but I'm a bit kind of concerned. Only a 79, so I think we are going to lose pop here. It was an exceptional matchup. and it saw Randy Orton defeat Angel Garza, Andrade, Drew McIntyre, Edge and John Cena in 25:56 when Randy Orton pinned Angel Garza with an RKO. Randy Orton wins the WWE title. So just a 79, which is disappointing considering only Cena was lower than that, but great performances, especially from Garza, who managed to get a 90 there. Barrett was weak. They have to keep someone strong. I think that no, we never kept anyone strong. So a wee bit disappointed when we get a 79 there, but a few for physical decline, stamina for Edge, few inconsistencies, and of course Barrett's commentary. But yeah, I'm going to be honest, this is recorded the night before SummerSlam, so Orton may have won the belt there. But his work in real life has been exceptional. Because of that, I've turned my booking on him completely around. He was putting people over, but when you realise that somebody, even though he's like in his 40s now, is still exceptional, if not doing the best stuff of his career, I have to replicate that here and give him that opportunity. So Randy wins and Randy celebrates, which is an 81. Overall, a 79. It does lose his pop in 49, but regions, but that is because we don't get that hype sports entertainment angle start, which I think I might start using for pay-per-views. Because the only reason we're kind of boosting that up is if we add in like a special celebrity and a special set, which I probably should have done here, because it's not as if we're WWE, we're not exactly short of money. But I'll give you an idea. There's a few things I want to show you in the main screen here. Basically how we do so well on Raw and SmackDown with very average shows. And we'll look at the finances, and we'll look as well at just a couple of people's overness. So that's the good thing about the pay-per-views now. We've got a lot of things we can look at, and the video is certainly by no means over once the show is finished. So we'll just hopefully this process is quite fast, because it's a lot of filler talk from myself. There we go. So Shelton's gone, again an age thing. Robert Roode's gone, again an age thing, and Ziggler's gone. All in their 40s, and I need to start bringing through younger talent. I don't want to put everybody just into NXT, so some are just like on you go. So the three, they're all gone. Trent Seven's gone from NXT, and obviously those people are now signing permanently with NXT, like see your Tess is with the main roster. She might go back to NXT though, and Ace Austin as well. So Matt Riddle getting his spell on. Come on, bro. Survivor Series, vast majority enjoyed the show. I'll go show history first then. So, I'll give you an idea. Miz, Big E, Keith Lee and Ziggler in the ring. 88 promo with that hype sports entertainment angle. That does well. That's half the battle. We can have a very average show, and as long as that delivers. Raw, 93. SmackDown, 88. Raw, 87. I'm trying to think of one where it really carried it. There was one where, well there you go, 96 and 87. The rest of the show very average. There was one SmackDown that just carried it completely into like an 88 or something. Now there you go. 100 promo, 86 main event, the rest of the show very average, and he's still scoring 88. So I might start using hype entertainment angles at the start of pay-per-views just to make sure we do okay. We'll see how people feel with that. Right, so it's a lot of people joined NXT and WWE, so I may as well give away the few spoilers that'll be coming up here. We finished first at the Battle of America, so I don't know who we're up against, but cool. Zack Sabre Jr. is in, he's in NXT. Jay Lethal, a couple of people leave me know about. Jungle Boy's in, Colt Cabana, I think he just left. I think we actually put a bid in for him. Nah, he was just shortlisted. Lethal NXT. Nick Aldis will join Raw. I'm going to put him back with his wife, with Mickie James. Bandido, Daga, that same will just join him permanently. Ryu Lee was, it's just Dragon Lee, so that's fine. Tajiri's on a development contract as a coach at Oz, so we'll obviously look to keep that going, that's fine. Buy rate was a 4.2, 2.1 million buys. Viewing figures overall though was 6.9 million. And Angel Garza says that Marcel Barthel has a lot of charisma, so that's quite cool. I think now to try and remember everything I was going to do there. Top 100. So obviously a couple of shows up in the 80s. Best match is still Brock Lesnar and Seth against Drew and Cesaro. Survivor Series blows attendance records out the books completely, so that's our best ever show in that regard. However, it is our 4th biggest buy rate. So SummerSlam's still the best. Obviously WrestleMania 38, I'm expecting to smash everything, and our TV ratings are getting bigger and bigger, so that's good. Size wise we're fine anyway, we're still like 80 odd, so we're fairly safe from not falling down, and even in other countries it's still like some places 79, so nothing to be too upset about. Financially we're in a good position, we are 117 mil, I did spend 36 million on media, so I'm just going to put everything up to enormous, so every month, as long as we're kind of keeping about 80-90 million, we'll keep just firing money in to that completely. Last but not least, we'll have a look at our main eventers to see who the winners and losers were. So Bray Wyatt's roughly about the same, Adam Cole with a small wee gain there, Akam, don't think anything happened to Akam. Andrade, about the same, Garza's maybe dropped a little, so it'll be interesting to see. Randy, Bailey and Becky seem to have went down a little. One actually really want to check is actually Jessamine Duke, but Drew, he's good. See, ever since he broke that pop cap, so I think since 1.17, that patch, everything's been a lot easier in terms of the overness. But bear in mind now, we're a Titanic company as well, and when we were struggling earlier, it was because we were kind of in that medium, and then that quick jump from medium to Titanic very, very quickly. Because Big Large was quick, and then Titanic was just another couple months after that. G White, obviously a big victory, up to about the 79s, that's fine. Keith Lee, oh, doesn't win the belt, but man does that man gain some overness. He's in the 90s, I'm delighted with that. Greetings and salutations for that, wow. 52 overness at the start of the year in NXT, 90 over. That, my friends, is a push that you could bask in his glory. I'm absolutely delighted with that. Good on Keith Lee. Kevin Owens in the 78, so that's good to see there. Maurice, have you gained much just being with Miz? Nope. That's fine. Other people I just want to quickly check. Roman, he's probably gained more overness turning heel. That's just someone again that we just really, since they brought that, I've booked him really strongly. Ever since we broke that pop cap with that update, he's just boosted on, so delighted with that. I'm intrigued to know though if it was the patch that done it, or if it was just the fact I'm now a bigger company, so obviously more exposure. So that could have hindered them, the lack of exposure, or not the lack, but not as much exposure as they are obviously getting now. Ronda's up 1 or 2. Randy Orton. Again, the fact I'd got him as low as 59 over in May, because I was putting people over constantly, and then I went, you know what, you're just beating everybody. And 89s, 93s in some places, it's incredible. 28 wins and 6 losses, and all those wins are going to have been coming in the last couple of months, because those defeats are including the Rumble, Keith Lee, Velveteen Dream beat him. It's just been a far better 2021 than the 2020, which was 13-11, so he was 50-50 booking central there. If I wanted to check, was actually Miz, so yep, he's still well over, so there we go. Even in defeats, the Miz retains his popularity and just continues to be the guy that absolutely carries SmackDown. I don't even want to take the title off him, he's just been absolutely stellar in that role. But I feel like SmackDown's in a far, far better position than Raw. So that's it for this video. What I want to know for you guys is, have you noticed since the 1.17 patch that overness seems easier? Or do you just think it's a case of, right, cool, you've got a bit more exposure, and because of that we're really capitalising because of the growth of the company? So let me know what you guys think it is, and what do you think of the booking? He's happy with it? Do you hate it? Let me know, because we're quite up to date. I'm maybe only 1 or 2 videos ahead, so any feedback can get put into the safe pretty quickly. But yeah, cheers for watching, much appreciated. I need to go and plan some brackets for some NXT tournaments coming up. But yeah, thanks for watching, stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.